Good afternoon, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you happen to be in the world. I'm having a pretty decent day myself. I've been playing around with Antstream Arcade, and for those of you who don't know, Antstream Arcade is a streaming service that has come to Xbox, and the reason that's significant is that it's nothing to do with Microsoft. It's actually a third-party streaming service, the first one to appear on Xbox. And what it does is it offers a whole raft of the retro games, in effect, the old classic games from the past, ranging from PC games to Amiga to C64. I think there's a few Nintendo games, 2 PlayStation games as it stands at the moment, although they say they've got a lot more coming. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But as it stands, across all the different consoles and systems, it offers 1,300 games, which is pretty decent. And as I say, I've been playing around with it. I downloaded it on, I think, Saturday. And yeah, I've been fiddling around with it. I couldn't do much on Sunday because it was my partner's birthday. But yeah, I've played, I think, 2 or 3 games with it, and they've all played very, very smoothly and very well. And it is an interesting service, but it's not perfect. Now, not being part of Xbox, it's not part of Game Pass, so you're going to have to pay for it. And let's just go up to the top here. If you go into the store, you will see, if I do Antstream, and get there in a minute, and there you go, Antstream Arcade. There's 2 options here. This is the one I've got owned. Now, you've got Antstream Arcade, which is $29.99. And then you've got Antstream Arcade, what's it called? Lifetime Pass, I think, which is $79.99. Now, that might seem a bit steep, but the $79.99 is a lifetime pass. And that means basically that when you've bought it, you never have to renew it. If you buy the $29.99 version, you will have to renew it next year or go for the full game, for the full pass at that point. As I understand it, though, if you buy the $29.99 version, you can't then move over to the $79.99 version. You have to wait till the $29.99 version runs out, which is a bit of a pain in the neck, because if they decide to put the prices up next year, you're kind of stuck and you're going to have to pay for the higher price. So that annoyed me a little bit. But we'll get into the things that annoyed me a little bit later. First things first, let's have a look and see what's available. So let's just go into their website. Oh, we don't want to go there. We want to go, where do we want to go? We want to go there. And as you can see, I'm picking up my controller, I don't need that. It says here, Antstream Arcade, it's now available on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. And it gives a list of the games. If we have a look here, you can see it says over 1,300 classic games, and it shows you all the different systems. If we go into view all games, it will show you, when we go through here, we've got Amiga, 201 games, Amstrad, 35 games, Arcade, 293 games, Atari 8-bit, that's 28 games, Atari 2600, 28 games, Atari 7800. I'm not going to go through all of these. As you can see, there's a lot. DOS, not much DOS games yet. Hopefully there'll be a lot more coming down the pipe. Game Boy, Atari Lynx, Genesis. There's a fair few on there. As you can see, you can scroll through. Fair few Atari games. MSX, NES. There's a few interesting ones on there. There's some repetition as well. You know, the same, I think Speedball 2, you get the PC version or the Amiga version. And also I think it's I can't remember the other version you get of it, but it's 2 different versions of that. PS1, as I say, there's only 2, there's only 2 games on there as yet. But they are saying there's going to be a lot more. As you can see, SNES, Spectrum, there's loads of Spectrum games, MSX, Atari 5200, and that's it for now. But as you can see, a fair few systems and a fair few games. It says your games library currently has 1,470 games. So Yeah, that's pretty good. Don't know why that's not doing much. There you go. It's reloading now. 1,470 games. So quite considerably over the 1,300 mark. So yeah, that's pretty good. And if we go back to the Xbox, we can go out of here. Let's just go home. And we can go into it. Now, as I'm going into it, I'm just going to say one of the other things that annoys me. It seems, as far as I can gather, that if you get the Xbox version, you can't then go on and play it on PC. And that kind of negates one of the advantages of this, the what you get with a streaming service, which is, you know, pay once, play anywhere. If you think of things like Google's Stadia, and now we've got Amazon's Luna. You know, once you've paid for it, you can go onto anything and play those games. Same with GeForce Now. If you've got GeForce Now, any of the games that are available on GeForce Now, obviously with the caveat that GeForce Now, it's your Steam library, so you have to have bought those games in your Steam library. But if you've got those games, you can play them wherever the service is offered. So with this, as it stands at the moment, it's not ideal for that. So that's something that annoys me a little bit. Let's just go into full window with this so we can see it a bit better. Oh, we got the wrong window here. And let me see. There you go. That is the full window for Antstream Arcade on my Xbox, and it's all right. It looks pretty decent. It's difficult to navigate as far as I can see. You've obviously got Play Now, you've got tournaments, which is quite interesting. You can go in and you can compete in tournaments against other people. Well, basically you go in and you go onto a leaderboard, which is quite good fun, and you earn achievements for doing stuff like that. Then you've got normal achievements. Now, the achievements are linked to Xbox achievements. So I've already got one achievement, I think it was, for just playing a game, any game. You get an achievement for on the Xbox. So if you're an achievement hunter, it's something you can mess around with. Messages, I haven't got any on there at the moment. Search is interesting. So if we go into search, it's your usual thing. It's quite handy. Let's do speedball. Speed ball. Right, and have a look for that. And it should bring up various different versions of Speedball. We got Speedball, which was the original Speedball, which I didn't play. And for some reason, there's another original Speedball. That's Amiga. What was the other one? C64. So you got the C64 version, you got the Amiga version of Speedball. And then more interestingly, we've got Speedball 2, and that's the Mega Drive version. And I think the C64 version, oh, the Amiga version. Okay, the Amiga version, which is pretty decent. And then Clash Ball, which seems to be a knockoff of Speedball. Never played that one either. But as you can see, you can do a search. Now, as I was showing here, you've got the Amiga version and you've got the Mega Drive version. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, you can't go in. Let's just do a search again. Oh, need to quit out of that. Do a search. As far as I can tell, you can't do a search. Come on, can't do a search via the system itself. So if I do Mega Drive, see what happens. So if I do Mega Drive, does it show me? Ah, it does. So you can do a search under Mega Drive. So that's handy. I didn't realize you could do that. I was looking the other day. I was finding it was a bit of a pain in the neck. But yeah, it looks like you can. So that's quite good. That's actually pretty good. It'd be nice if it was just listed, so you could actually list it under the system, which you can't currently do. If you just go up into the Play Now options, it's listed as kind of your games, games for you, games with challenges, new games, multiplayer games, indie games, arcade games. So it would be nice if they would have a system option within there, but having the option to search via system, via search, kind of negates that to some degree. Then we've got over here you can renew your subscription. So if you click on here, it'll say subscription renewal. I'm going to close that because I don't want to renew my subscription. And then these are my settings for me. So you can go in and you can change your avatar. So, you know, all the different avatars that are available. I've got this one is the one I'm currently using, and there's various others. Choose an avatar. As far as I can tell, you can't actually load your own avatars in. I would imagine they probably don't want you doing that in case you put anything dodgy in. But yeah, it looks like you're stuck with the ones that they make available, but they're pretty nice. I like them. I've got the Speedball one here, and then there's another Bitmap Brothers one down here somewhere. Yeah, there you go, another Bitmap Brothers one. So they're pretty nice. Let's go back there for a minute, and it says where I am, where I'm located. The crossplay, it says enabled. Doesn't seem to be any option here to disable it. I couldn't find any way of disabling it. So I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. And then on the far right, we've got settings. Oh, and it's the same thing again. So, yeah, okay. So you in settings, there's not a lot of options. Now, you haven't got things like scan lines and stuff like that, which is a little bit annoying. Hopefully, they'll add that down the line. It does feel a bit like a fledgling service at the moment. I know it's been out a while on PC, but it could do with a little bit of spin polish. But other than that, it actually looks pretty decent. And let's just go into Mortal Kombat quickly and show you the gameplay. It shows you here. I mean, the options you've got for controlling it's pretty straightforward. I like the fact it comes up, with this before you start playing, so you can, add it to your brain and hopefully remember what the controls are. I probably won't. It's been ages since I played Mortal Kombat. Oh, let's turn that down. So, yeah, here we go. As you can see, it loaded up pretty fast. Now, is that... That's better. Right, who am I going to play as? Let's play as this geezer. I forget his name. All the Mortal Kombat fans are going to come in and start having a go at me now because I can't remember who's who. But... Oh, did that wrong. Oh, did that right. And I won. So you can see it's pretty responsive. Obviously, the usual caveats apply as with... I'm not going to win this one. He keeps jumping through him. Anyway, look, let's stop this. You hit the button on the Xbox, the one on the left-hand side with the two little envelopes on. I can never remember what it's called. And you can quit the game from there and choose the other options. And then we can go back to the menu and stuff. As you can see, it's pretty responsive. As I was about to say, though, the usual caveats apply. If you're trying to play any games through a streaming service and your internet is wobbly or it goes down, you're going to run into problems, obviously. If your internet goes down, you're not playing this at all. But it is the way it is. Increasingly now, playing games is difficult without an internet connection. A lot of games, even single player games, you go in to play them, your internet goes down, you don't get to play the game. It's annoying, it drives me up the wall, but it is what it is, and I'm afraid we're kind of stuck with it. So streaming is just the next step forward from that, in the sense that it's inconvenient if your internet goes down. But then again, you can't use your electric cooker if the electrics goes down, can you? So it's the joys of the modern world. I don't like it personally. I'd like to be able to have these games on my system, and given how small they are, it wouldn't be that difficult to do. But yeah, we're kind of stuck with it the way it is. So Yeah, as I say, it's a fun little system. There's lots of stuff on there. I do wonder, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go into developer mode on your Xbox and you can load up various different emulators and you can play ROMs from there. Now, there were some commercial versions available of those, which you had to go through a palaver to get them. I did have them on my Xbox for a little while, but they were... Xbox basically made it so you couldn't use them. Apparently they are back up and running now, but you have to pay like a monthly fee to be able to access them. I'm not really into that. I would use developer mode to do it, but I've actually got a lot of ROMs running on my PC and I can actually run them on my Steam Deck as well. So I don't need to faff about too much with the Xbox to get emulation running on it. It would be nice, but hey, it's not a big deal. And this, if you're a casual gamer or you don't want to frig around with ROMs, or you have an issue with using ROMs because you don't like the idea of piracy or backing up your games or any of the things you have to go through to get ROMs working. I know some people who use a lot of ROMs will come in and say, oh, this is easy, I don't know what you're going on about. But using emulators is a pain in the neck, and it's certainly not something that casuals want to be messing around with. This, on the other hand, is dead easy. You download it, you go in, you look for a game you like, and you can play it. And I like it. Obviously there's those things with, I wish you could just have a subscription and then go in and play on PC, Xbox. When it comes to PlayStation, Switch, whatever down the line, you just had your account. They are talking about implementing, cross-play, and we saw there's some cross-play and cross-saves and stuff across different systems. Hopefully that's implemented. I don't know. I've not tried doing that because obviously I haven't got this on PC. But for the time being, it has some of the disadvantages of streaming and not all of the advantages of streaming, it would seem to me. And they're quite a small outfit, so maybe they're ironing these things out as time goes on. But for now, as a way of getting some emulated games on Xbox and playing them and having a blast, I think it's probably, well, it depends on what sort of gamer you are. But if you're sort of my generation and you like the old games and you like dipping in and out of them, and you like things like Speedball 2 and the original Mortal Kombat and Double Dragon you can see there and stuff like this. If you're into all that kind of stuff and you haven't got a specific game that you want to be able to play that this hasn't got, then yeah, I think $29.99 for a year, it's worth it. And if you really are into it, then pay the $79.99 and get the lifetime subscription. Hopefully they keep going and keep adding games. They are talking that they've got a lot more PlayStation games coming. Presumably there'll be a lot of other stuff for other systems as well. I think this is the way forward. I think this is where we're heading. And I honestly, I don't think it's such a bad idea. It's not perfect. As I say, I wish it wasn't streaming. I wish you could download these games to your system. But it is what it is. And they do run pretty well. I mean, certainly for me, I know some people, I was watching a guy the other day with this and he was having some stuttering. I haven't experienced that as yet. I'm sure I will because my internet's up and down all over the place. Or it was a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I think it's pretty decent. And yeah, give it a go. I mean, it's up to you whether you think it's worth the money, really, at the end of the day. But yeah, if you do, give it a go and let me know in the comments what you think of it. And hopefully we can have a chat. In the meantime, though, I'm going to sign off. I hope you like the new layout I've got here. Let me know what you think of that as well. And we'll have a chat in the comments. And if you do like chatting with me, come over to my Discord as well and do the usual thing and subscribe. Do you like my new subscription button? I'm fiddling around with some new stuff. Anyway, look, I'm off. I've been whittering on for too long now. I'll speak to you in the next one. Cheers.